This is the Dr. Scientist Atmosphere Programmable Reverb pedal. This is one of the most remarkable pedals of this moment. And I first came across this pedal on Instagram, and it struck me how beautiful it looked with this very cool color LCD screen and all of the tweakability in it and the sound demos that I heard on Instagram. So I decided to reach out to Dr. Scientist once more, because I've done a demo of their BitQuest some time ago, saying I wanted to demo this pedal because it is truly something else. It is made by Dr. Scientist, so handmade in Canada, and it's a programmable reverb pedal. Now, who is this pedal for? This is definitely not a reverb pedal for the meat and potatoes player, like me. I would probably never take this out on a gig with me because it is it has so many options that to a gigging player it can be kind of like paralyzing, have a paralyzing effect. This type of pedal, same as with the Matthews Effects and Chase Bliss audio pedals, they're aimed at tweakers. They're aimed at people who like to tweak their sounds until they're just perfect, and probably record with it, or have several of these kinds of pedals on their board for very specific sounds. When I was demoing this pedal, I kind of imagined that I was doing a soundtrack for a sci-fi TV show, so like a superhero kind of TV show, and it's perfect for that. It can definitely inspire you to go into different musical avenues. So it is definitely a niche in which this pedal sits. It's not very convenient to use live, although it's durable and sturdy enough. But it is kind of a creative tool, I suppose. One of my favorite patches, and there are 16 patches in this pedal, is the smear setting, and the smear setting that gives you reverb and delay at the same time. Another one that I really like very much was the ether setting, and I liked how you can get those really murky kind of spring reverb. A spring reverb from outer space kind of tones. There's a couple of things to bear in mind if you're going shopping for this pedal. Pedals like this tend to have a pretty big power usage. So this runs off a 9 volt to 18 volts power supply and is going to take up 300 of your precious milliamps. So bear that in mind. It's going to need a decent power supply. It also takes MIDI. I wouldn't have a use for that personally, but I can imagine for a lot of musicians that is a helpful feature. You can hook up an external expression pedal to change certain parameters, but basically how it works is this. You have these overall controls, which are the dark blue knobs, and they are for tone, volume, and mix. So pretty self-explanatory. So how bright or dark is going to be the output volume of the pedal, So if you want to stand out a little bit more, if you're using it live, you can kind of roll up the volume or match it to the other pedals that you're using. And then you have the mix control, which is pretty standard on a reverb pedal. It's going to determine how much of that affected signal is going to be blended in with the dry guitar. Now this resonance knob is very important. It kind of sets the sample rate, I suppose, of the pedal. So if it's fully dimed, you get the best possible quality of sounds, and as you turn it counterclockwise, it's going to get more lo-fi. I kind of like it right at the middle, because then it's not too processed and it's still a little bit, like spooky, analog kind of sounding, but you can definitely experiment with that. So this white knob here is the patch selector. It's got 16 different patches, different algorithms ranging from hall, octave, plate, spring, modulated reverb, room. It's got a setting called alias. You've got the smear, and you've got the aether or gated reverbs, vibro settings, rotary, what have you. So tons of different options for you to tweak it to your heart's content. But basically what it works like is you select a patch, you make sure you have these overall controls set to your liking, and then control 1 and 2 are going to control whatever is on the screen under control 1 or 2, and that can vary depending on which patch you are. Then the decay control is kind of how big the reverb is going to be. So you can you have this multi switch, which is momentary, so you can kind of freeze the reverb tails. I would probably just use it as a creative tool to get all soundscapey with. Also, if you're a worship kind of player, I'm guessing you could get some really cool ethereal tones. So in a nutshell, there you have it. This is the Atmosphere by Dr. Scientist.